You are listening to Housekeepers Chat by the United States Department of Agriculture from 1927. Disclaimer: this is read from a historic archive document. Do not assume content reflects current scientific knowledge, policies, or practices. This broadcast was aired on the 28th of January 1927.
Flowers, vegetables, seeds, and a vegetable dinner are the high points in today's chat. All the information is approved by the United States Department of Agriculture. The menu and the 2 recipes will be included in the radio cookbook.
I have collected a dozen questions on fruits, vegetables, and flowers the past week. Friday is a good time to check them off the list. As soon as I have answered these vegetable questions, I shall give you a tasty vegetable menu. Question number 1. My vegetables, stored in the cellar, are beginning to wither. Would you advise sprinkling the floor to provide moisture? The Bureau of Plant Industry of the United States Department of Agriculture says to either sprinkle the floor or cover the vegetables with burlap sacks or a similar material and apply a little water to this covering. In a cellar that is extremely dry, it is desirable to partition off a section where the moisture and temperature conditions can be kept more nearly ideal. Such vegetables as carrots, beets, and parsnips can be packed in moist sand to maintain their moisture content. Question number 2. My cellar is so warm that the fruits and vegetables are spoiling. Would you advise opening the windows at night and letting in the cool air? By all means, says the Bureau. Open the windows, unless by so doing the house itself will become chilled. Third question. What is wrong with my geraniums? The new leaves fall off. The ends of the stems seem to dry up, and then the leaves die. There are a number of conditions which cause the leaves to fall from geraniums. One of the most frequent causes is that the air in the house is too dry for the plants. This can be prevented to a certain extent by keeping open containers of water over the heating device in the room. Sometimes the leaves fall from geraniums because the plants receive too much or too little water. Geraniums, to give the best bloom, should not be watered too much. Before watering the plants, examine the soil in the pot and determine whether the soil is dry. If it is, give the pot a good watering so all the soil in the pot will be well soaked. Remember, it is dangerous to keep a potted plant in a closed jardiniere and allow any excess water to collect in the jardiniere. Gas fumes from coal and gas burners are sometimes the cause of houseplants dropping their leaves. Fifth question. How soon can annual flowers be sown outdoors? This listener must be weary of winter. Such annual plants as the poppy, cornflower, larkspur, snapdragon, sweet alyssum, snow on the mountain, summer cypress, and cosmos can frequently be sown in the open ground before all freezing weather is over. It is generally considered best, however, to defer sowing the seed until freezing weather is over, and the ground is in good condition to work. Well, question number 6, please step forward. Is January a suitable month to prune flowering shrubs like lilacs, spirea, and snowballs? The Bureau of Plant Industry says the shrubs that flower in the spring should be pruned after they are through flowering. If you prune them now, you will cut off this year's flowers, as the flower buds have been formed on last year's wood, and no more will be formed before flowering time. Question 7. Does rain or snow have any value as a fertilizer? I'll have to tell you something about this question. When I submitted it to the plant specialist, I remarked that it was a queer question. I wondered why anyone should think that rain and snow have much value as a fertilizer. What do you guess the plant specialist did? He leaned up against the wall with a lot of rakes and spades and hoes and things and said he judged I didn't know as much about farming as I did about cooking and housekeeping. I made no more comments after that. The truth is that rain and snow do have fertilizer value, due chiefly to the nitrogen they contain. The amount of nitrogen brought down by the rain and snow is around 5 to 7 pounds per acre per year. Near large industrial cities, the amount is even higher. Question number 8. Step up, please. I want to talk about the menu pretty soon. Question number 8. How should rhubarb be cared for in the spring? Covering with straw, leaves, or similar litter will induce earliness and the formation of long, partly bleached stalks. Here's a suggestion, too, that may be of value for those who have a hankering for fresh rhubarb pie. Get some barrels, remove the heads, and set the barrels over the plants. You will have tender, well-bleached stalks of rhubarb much earlier than if the plants were not covered. Even greater earliness will be obtained by placing glass-covered frames over the plants. If you want additional information about rhubarb, please write to the Department of Agriculture. Question number 10. No, number 9 first. Don't crowd. Question number 9. From the first of the year on, at what temperature should I keep my potatoes in storage so they don't become too sweet and begin to sprout? About 39 or 40 degrees Fahrenheit is the best temperature for your potatoes in order to prevent sprouting and too great formation of sugar. If the cellar is extremely dry, apply a little moisture to the floor or to the containers in which the potatoes are kept. Now, number 10. Does the quality of the garden seed vary to any great extent? Yes, the quality of garden seed does vary. The cost of seed is so small in proportion to the value of the crop that the home gardener can't afford to buy any but the best seed obtainable. Good seed may cost slightly more than poor seed, but the good seed results in higher yields and better quality vegetables. If you use homegrown seed, be sure to test the germination before planting time. There are 2 more questions about vegetables, but they can wait till Monday. I want to give you a menu now, a vegetable meal, and a very tasty one. By the way, I thank all the women who sent me words to use instead of delicious, the poor adjective which suffered a nervous breakdown because of overwork. Here's my vegetable meal. Corn fritters, glazed onions, scalloped tomatoes, pickle or sour relish or lettuce salad, and jellied prunes and cake. Here's the recipe for corn fritters, made with canned corn. 7 ingredients. 1 cup liquid, either juice from canned corn or milk or the 2 mixed. 1 cup drained canned corn. 1 3/4 cups sifted soft wheat flour. 1 tablespoon melted fat. 1 egg. 2 teaspoons baking powder. 3/4 teaspoon salt. The ingredients are 7. 1 cup liquid, either juice from canned corn or milk or the 2 mixed. 1 cup drained canned corn. 1 3/4 cups sifted soft wheat flour. 1 tablespoon melted fat. 1 egg, 2 teaspoons baking powder. 3/4 teaspoon salt. Mix the flour, baking powder, and salt. Mix the juice from the canned corn or milk or whatever liquid is used, the egg after it has been beaten slightly, and the canned corn. Stir this liquid mixture gradually into the dry ingredients. Add the melted fat. If the corn is very moist even after the liquid has been drained from it, more flour may need to be added. Dried corn which has been soaked and cooked until tender may also be used. Fry the corn fritters in deep fat, or if preferred in a skillet in shallow fat. In either case, drop the mixture by spoonfuls into the fat and fry rather slowly, for these fritters need time to cook through to the center before the outside becomes too brown. Drain the fritters on absorbent paper and serve hot. For the glazed onions, you will need 10 medium-sized onions, 1/4 cup sugar, and 2 tablespoons melted butter. I'll say that again. For the glazed onions, you will need 10 medium-sized onions, 1/4 cup sugar, and 2 tablespoons melted butter. Peel the onions and boil whole in salted boiling water until fairly tender, from 20 to 30 minutes. Mix the sugar and butter together and spread over the sides and bottom of the baking dish or pan. Drain the onions and place them in the pan and bake in a moderate oven until brown, increasing the heat toward the last. Water cooks out of the onions and the browning process is rather slow, but when finished, they should have a rich brown glaze. The rest of the menu is easy. The jellied prunes are made with gelatin in the same way as jellied fresh fruit. Be sure to add a little lemon juice to tone up the prunes. Check the menu now to see if it's all there. Corn fritters, glazed onions, scalloped tomatoes, pickles, sour relish or lettuce salad, jellied prunes, cake. I don't have Monday's program planned yet, except for one thing, a recipe for lemon pie filling. You will agree with me that this lemon pie filling is one of the best recipes yet broadcast.
This broadcast was researched and produced by BreakAway Empire LLC.